Joining me live now is former White House Chief of Staff and now Bondi Partners consultant Mick Mulvaney. Mick, thanks for your time. How's this going down in the United States? We've already seen some conspiracy theories involving your country.
There was, and we've been trying to sort of keep those under wraps as much as we possibly can. It doesn't add much to the discussion. There's things on the internet now about were the Israelis involved, were we involved, etc. Keep in mind, this is an almost 50-year-old American helicopter, so it predates the revolution. This is a very, very remote part of northeastern Iran in a mountainous area during a heavy rainstorm with fog. When you get those types of circumstances, LJ, the first place you look is an accident. Do you keep an open mind about other evidence down the road? Yes, you do. But you certainly don't jump to the conclusion that there's some sort of nefarious motivation here other than what it appears to be, which is an accident. And that's what my government is trying to focus on today.
What would the White House be doing right now? Because it creates this power vacuum. Of course, there needs to be a successor elected. Is this uncertain times for the White House as well? Is it kind of, better the devil you know rather than the devil you don't?
Well, I think a reporter that did a nice job of articulating how this probably doesn't signify that big of a change, that you're not going to see that big of a difference in the direction of Iran because of this particular event. Keep in mind, the president, while certainly an important role in Iran, is not as important as the Ayatollah, who is going to essentially still drive what happens next. So I don't think you'll see a sea change. I don't think you'll see dramatic change. But certainly anytime you get something like this, you have some uncertainty. That being said, the Middle East and the world is an uncertain place anyway, so it's only marginally more so tonight. But the White House will be watching it very, very closely, trying very hard to keep lines of communication open. Keep in mind, our relationship with Iran is not particularly warm, but we will keep to try to stay in touch with folks so that if something does happen, at least there's no misunderstanding moving forward.
We heard from Joe Biden just a couple of hours ago now. He was talking about the International Criminal Court and essentially reaction to that. Interestingly, he made his comments in a speech to students, didn't he? And he was pointed in his comments saying Israel has not committed genocide, and he avoided any criticism of Benjamin Netanyahu, where he was quite critical of him directly in the past.
It's very strange. I happen to like what he said today. What he said was that the charges from the International Criminal Court were outrageous. Those are his exact words. And he defended Israel and Prime Minister Netanyahu, which, of course, is very different than what he's just done a week ago. That goes back to this very fine line he is trying to tread to try and sort of keep his pro-Israeli groups satisfied within his party and also his pro-Palestinian groups satisfied within his party. It's very difficult to do, but he came out with some very, very harsh words today regarding the ICC. Of course, the United States of America does not recognize that. It's not a signatory to the ICC. Neither is Israel. This could be a major sort of inconvenience to Netanyahu in terms of international travel, but we don't expect him to be hauled into court anytime soon. And the Americans are certainly not going to be helping the ICC pursue any actions against Israel or Netanyahu.
Mick, I wonder if this will make the debates that both leaders have agreed to in the lead up to the presidential elections pretty interesting.
It will. These debates promise to be fascinating, Laura. They really do. And they're sooner rather than later. They're the soonest, the earliest presidential debates in history. In fact, neither of the two gentlemen will actually be the formal nominees of their parties at the time of the first debate, which is about a month from now. But you can certainly expect a lot of discussion about Israel, a lot of discussion about immigration, a lot of discussion about the economy. But it's been a fascinating story in and of itself as to how we got here, because apparently both campaigns reached out to each other and avoided our third-party, nonpartisan presidential debate commission so they could arrange their own terms. So this is very much a Biden versus Trump show. They're taking steps to keep RFK Jr. off the stage. It's going to make some compelling television in just a couple of weeks.
It certainly is, Mick. You are compelling television too, but we'll leave it there for today. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, LJ.